Hey traders, Parker here with a you could say almost like a market update. These labels down here are my sector rotation labels, and for the most part, what you're seeing is everything pulling back. That's why you're seeing all this light green. The only thing that really pushed up this past week was energy. Energy pushed up. Its price is 89. Its 52-week high is 94.71. 52-week low 68.66, and its relative position within its 52-week high and low is 81.54%. It's up on a week. It was up 2%, 2.85% last week. For the month of August, it's up 3.18%. For its 3-month average, it's up 6.95%, and for the year, it's up 3.43%. Energy is the one that's going up. You can look right here and see the S&P futures pull back. It was negative 0.36 on the week. It's negative 2.89% on the month, but it's still up for its quarterly average or its 3-month average. It's up 7%, and for the year, it's still up 15%. I don't think anything where the Nasdaq is beating the S&P 500. It's up 35% from this year's open. Is there anything else? Cyclicals or they're higher than the S&P 500. I guess so for the year, I should say. So these are the updated sector rotation labels. If you purchase this indicator and and you want these labels, just shoot me an email or contact me on Etsy, and I'll get you a fresh update for these labels. So with energy being up, let's go check out a scan, and hopefully this scan is going to work. For the most part, we should still get the ones from last week. So I'm going to put in $1 and $50, and I'm going to intersect this scan with where is it? Industry, and I'm going to look in all energy. So all stocks intersect with energy. We're not going to exclude anything. That's the old scan. So what you're going to do is a quick scan for that right there. So these are all the stocks that are energy, and we can look at the volume. One of the stocks I already looked at was Rig, but one of the things I wanted to do for the most part, really to show you the emphasis of this, is this right here. So we're going to still intersect with energy. And these are the stocks making new 52-week highs. So we want to pay attention to these. If you are familiar with the Darvis method, Darvis would look for stocks making new 52-week highs and with new innovations. Energy is not necessarily new innovation, but with the price of oil and other energy-related commodities going up, this would be a good sector to go look into, especially when we look at this label and energy being up. Let's actually go to the XLE, and we can see energy right here. It's looking like it's getting ready to break out also. One of the other things I wanted to show you was the updated version, with a premium version of my rangefinder indicator as well. So we go to range and target. So this one has a targeting system in it. And let's see. Okay. So it's based off of here, off of this field right here, this 21.4 field. So if you would have gotten in down here, once this range was made, it was made back here, and you wanted to risk the stock pushing back into this 21.4 field right here. You would have gotten in right here. If you had $10,000, you're only willing to risk I think 20%, something like that. But for the most part, it's $2,000 right now that's being risked. And if you would got in right here, it would have cost you $1,098.28. I'm not sure why I just got so many decimal places behind that. So for the most part, it costs you $1,900, and if you were to actually stop out on this stock, you would have lost 8%. So that would have been $160 loss if it did drop all the way back down here after you got in right here. And for the most part, we made it to the first fib, the 38.2 fib. You'd have made $126. Second, for the midpoint of the range, you made $214.86. You made it to the 61.4 fib, it'd been $359. And if you made it to the 78.6 fib, it'd been $429. And if it makes it past the top of this range right here, it would have been $590.59 with a 30% increase on your on the money you invested. So this is the update. This is the premium version of the range indicator. It has if the stock is outside the range, you'll get another set of information, especially another targeting system. So we go back to the SPY. We can see there is another targeting system, and it pushes out from here. And this is based on percentages and ATR. And this would be if the stock breaks out, or after the stock reaches a certain level, this other range system will come on. But it's not finished yet. But for the most part, I just wanted to debut, show you what I've been working on to increase the value of the range indicator, especially when I was trying to explain how to use to help you with your risk reward ratios, or your risking off of different things. So this is what we're looking at. I'm gonna go to rig. It's the one I was looking at, and you can look right here. Rig is already breaking out, and I marked out some of the different things on here. For the most part, it may pull back again, depending on how everything works out Monday, tomorrow I should say. Excuse me. Let me take those rotation labels off of that. And let's look into the volume and look into the this is my modified unbalanced volume indicator. And I put the squeeze stuff in there as well. But for the most part, this is what we're looking at on rig on a weekly basis. You can see right here, price is trying to push up, but it doesn't look like it's been allowed to, especially if I put my signals indicator on here. Get a better idea of what's going on. So for the most part, these arrows just represents deviations. So you have a buying deviation right here, or I shouldn't say deviations, but divergences in price. You got a lower low but a higher close on here. You this red arrow right here is showing you that you have a higher high but a lower close, which is just showing you a bearish divergence within price. And these squares are showing you that these two candles right here are showing that there's a lot of volume, but there's not a lot of movement between the closes, from close to close. So you can also look at it as kind of being what it's saying, throttling. So there's a lot of volume, but there's not a lot of movement in price. You can say, hey, you got this high and this low. That's a lot of movement, but I'm looking at it on the closing point of view, and that's why I care about more so than the high and low. I'm looking more so for that close. But if I wanted to, I could go up here and I can use the high and low, the full body of the candle. You don't get that here, but it's basically still volatile for the most part. But for the most part, this is rig. It's making a new 52-week high and possibly pushing back above. So if you wanted to look at some of these energy stocks, so rig, just gonna mark at these areas right here. So you could possibly play rig up to looks like the next stopping point is going to be this $9. Let me zoom in, or at least try and zoom in more, and we'll bring that down. So you're looking at probably about 975. So that'll be one of my target areas just to take profit. If I get into rig, I probably look for the getting it somewhere around the previous high or the previous close of the not necessarily the week, but the Friday previous high or previous close. And this is what I was talking about. Once it reaches a certain level, this will cut on, the other one will cut off. And for the most part, this will be my risk. If I let me see what I have in there. I have $10,000. So my account size is $10,000. I'm only willing to risk 20% of my 10,000. That gave me $2,000. So, and all the information that you need is right here. So my RT just range top. I'll be able to buy 220. I'll be able to buy 226 shares at a cost of $1,900 basically. It's really 2,000, but if you look at the actual price of the stock and you divide it by shares, that's what you're gonna get. So you're gonna be able to buy 226 shares, and if your target is hit, or it goes to at least this ATR. This is one ATR above, or is it two? It's two ATR above where this price range is right here. So we're gonna be looking at making a profit of $182 off of $2,000 if the stock potentially goes to this level of $9.63 on rig. And if it goes beyond, here's your other profit levels and your percentages and everything. Well, for the most part, that's one of the ones I was looking at just because I like the way it looked, especially when you come to the unbalanced volume. It's still pushing up, and we'll see what Monday holds for us news-wise. And if we look at it on 5 minute, this is what it did Friday. It found this range back here, and basically the stock stayed in that, and then it finally broke above, and it didn't necessarily hold the highs. It's actually trending down, but for the most part, we'll be looking at possibly going higher. So I would look at getting into it from me, either it's Friday's high or Friday's close, somewhere around there, or just referring back to my box for entry. So we go back to the scanner. We're looking at PBF Energy, and it only got 2 million in volume. So PBF. So we go to PBF Energy. It didn't do too much. It's a $50 stock. It's one of the higher priced stocks. And you can see right here, it's actually breaking out. So it's breaking out this old range that it has set for on a weekly. So this is a nice stock. But the only thing with this breakout, you don't have a lot of volume. Yeah, you got a volume above average here. That's what this light green is showing you. But for the most part, I don't know. I would look for more of a confirmation on this breakout with volume. Let's go look and see what it looks like on a daily and see what volume is telling us as well. So on a daily, you got a little bit more volume or a little bit more information, and you can see it's breaking above this previous ranges right here. And you look right here on a daily, on a 21 average. Do I have to set? Yeah, 21 period average for this range. Excuse me. You can see right here, you had your breakout on July 7/21. So you could have been in this stock waiting for a pullback to $42 to push into the stock to get where it is now at $50. Is that what it is? It had a high of $50.43. So that's one of the other excuse me. benefits of playing this range or looking at this range, and we can also look at some other breakouts within energy using the scanner for this indicator. So this one looks pretty cool. I like it, and right now, where did it close at? So it closed at 49. Excuse me. It closed at 49.84. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set an alert for $50. Let me get a break of $50 and let's see where it goes from there on that one. PAA. It's stuck in this huge range. So on a daily, it's using that high, and you can see how it's just trailing through this range, and it's above. It's getting close to this previous range low right here. Let's go look at it on a weekly. Same situation. It's close to that. But it's in a general uptrend. I don't like it more so just because it's average volume. It's on a weekly, it only gets 17 million in volume. I don't particularly like that. And PARR, I'm not going to even look at that one. What we're going to do is shift our thinking, and we're going to look for stocks that are breaking out on the range indicator. So should be this one, 2.0. So we're looking for a break up. It's true within one bar. And let's look at it on a weekly basis, and then we'll look at it on a daily basis. And the stocks have to be $1 to $50, and it has at least have 1 million volume. PR, we're intersecting still with energy, and these stocks, they don't have a whole lot of energy. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So on average, when it comes to their volume, this is what this showing. It's showing that on average, it has these stocks have that are in green have an average of 2 million volume. So PR, let's go see that one. PR, and I have this set for 10 years, and it's not giving me a whole lot of information. I don't know how long this stock has been around. Obviously not long enough, but it's showing, so it must be something's going on wrong. Scan for weekly. PR shouldn't be on there. And W. Williams Companies Inc. WMB. I don't know why PR is on there, but for the most part, you have this breakout right here on WMB, and if we go back to the scan, it has 4 million volume on that day. What is this volume? But one of the things you have to look at on a weekly, you got a lot of volume pushing this stock up. So volume equals interest, and that's what it's breaking out of this squeeze that it was in back here, and it's pushing up. So this is one of the ones I want to pay attention to. It's breaking out of a range, and it's also has volume confirming it on the weekly. It's a lot of volume down here. It's pushing up. So that'll be our weekly support and resistance areas on the range anyway. On our range indicator. So on the daily, this actually tried to break out on 7/31. 2.83, and then it went ahead and continued up. If you'd have tried to play this right here, you'd have got stopped out here with a loss of $34.80. But if you'd have played this one, you would still be in the stock, and you would have made it up to whatever this is. And if you put $2,000 on here, you'd have made 3.5% on your money, which is $69.51. But you wouldn't have lost anything. But you can look right here on the unbalanced, my modified unbalanced volume, and you can just see how it's just been pushing up. And you can see there's been a lot of volume in this stock. I don't know if there's any news. There's some news, whatever. Senior notes offering. That's not good. But hopefully they close the offering and the stock is able to push above. Next Gen Energy, which one? BTE. I've looked at this one before a while back, and it already broke out on a daily from $3 to what is it, $3.58, and we can go to the weekly. So because it's still acting as an area of resistance, that's why I'm going to keep this one. Because you can see when it tried to cross back into this range, it got rejected, and it may get rejected back down, but it may hold this 414. So the high was 420, so I'm going to put an alert for 425. But I'm looking at it on that little chart, and it looks like a trash. Yeah, it does look trashy. I don't know. We'll see on this one. But let's get out of energy and let's go look at all stocks. Let's see what's breaking out on a weekly. And we do it by volume. TSAT. It's breaking out on this weekly, but you can look at this candle and say, nah, I would not play this at all. So it's stuck in between these two areas right here. So you probably going to be looking at it doing just channeling back and forth or consolidated within the two areas. For the most part, it did break out, but you have this resistance right here, and you have this acting as support. Now they broke above it. So you may want to wait for a pullback or a break above. So we'll say a pullback to possibly 8.1175. And a push above either the close, we'll say 13. EVLV. I think I looked at these Friday before I did the video. There's your breakout. Zoom in, and if we would have caught this breakout or wanted to risk it with a pullback to 6, which it may still do. But for the most part, you can see where the target system, if you would have risked the $2,000, if you would have got pulled back to your stop loss, you would have lost $123.97. But making it to your first target of $7.85 would have gave you $247.74, which is 12% on your money. and so on and so forth. And you can see how the unbalanced volume was just sitting here, and you can see how everything was just really, I call it squeezing, or really just consolidating within these two areas. You had a small breakout, but it didn't go anywhere, so it's traded, and now you have a huge breakout. But you really could have been in stock on this initial breakout back here in May. And looking at things from a 21, I didn't fix this, did I? So I left it at 12. That's fine, though. Let's look at some things on a daily. Oops. Some breakouts on a daily. And we have Mullen, which is garbage. We'll look at it anyway. I don't know what happened right here. Maybe a reverse split or something. But it shot up from $10 all the way up to $1 and something. I'm not looking at Mullen. Let's go back to the scan and find something else. There's TSAT, HBI. It's breaking out on a daily. Where is it on a weekly? And it has the potential to break out on a weekly as well. It needs to get back above this previous range low. It kind of retested it here, but I'm going to set mine for 560. Was that 556 or 560? 565. Okay. So I'm going to look for a break above 565 or a possible pullback to 514, which is the 61.8 fib. So, and I will set another alert for a breakout above that, above the actual range high. And it's held its highs on the day. Broke out from this range back here. And it's holding its highs. It's holding those levels, so that's nice. Scan. These other stocks, so I'm not going to go into all that. But this is just a preview of the new features that for the premium version of the rangefinder indicator and the sector rotation labels, and just preview for your week going ahead. Let me go back to the weekly, and we can look at one other thing. We'll look at the quarterlies, and these labels are based off of 3 months. And we can see on the quarterly, utilities is horrible, precious metals is horrible, but the Dow Jones is still good, healthcare is good, energy is good, industrials, retail, and financials. Like I said, these are your quarterly, so 3 month labels. And it's really represented by the 3 month high and low and where they are within that range. And you can look right here, energy is 89%. And we can look at one other thing when it comes to the sector rotation. And I don't know if, let's see, 50 week, yep. I'm still working on improving this as well for the sector rotation. What I'll probably do is push some of these labels ahead, at least for the offensive sector, push those ahead and leave the defensive sector here. But for the most part, these lines represents all the different sectors within their 52-week high and 52-week low. And that's why you got utilities all the way down here. And you got real estate down here, but it's getting ready. It looks like real estate might push above. TLT is down here, and the VIX is still relatively low. So I'm working on an improvement for this indicator as well. Like I said, if you purchase the sector rotation indicators or that bundle, and you want to get some of the updates are finished, then I'll feel free to send those to you. But shoot me an email, or contact me on Etsy, and I'll get that to you. Send that over to you. And I wanted to look at one more thing, so we'll go back to XLE for energy, and we put the sector seasonal. No, that's not the one I want though. I think it's this one right here. And it's probably looking at things on a daily. That's not what I want. I wanted the stuff on a weekly. I might. And this is just showing you what, for the month of August, usually energy is down, but energy is up. So for the month of August, usually energy is down to here, but it's actually up. So this will be the end of the video. For your week ahead, I would look for energy stocks pushing higher, especially with with everything that's going on. But just look for energy stocks pushing higher, possibly. But if you haven't already, please like, subscribe. If you have any comments or anything, please leave them in the comment section. And I want to say thank you again for giving me the opportunity to share with you some of my findings. But I'm not financial advisor by any length. But I just wanted to take the time out to show you some of the observations I've learned in the market. But I wish you the best and stay safe. God bless.